Janine, you took the $300 and in one, did you spend it in one or over a period of time?
I won.
In one?
Of course, I have bills to pay.
So, so you took the $300 and it was spent in one. In one. And so you share the same sentiment as this girl on the screen?
Of course, I mean, for Dawn to have a different perspective on it in terms of they can give more because there is a subvention there that another party is not getting, and that has been sitting for 7 years. So if you want to give the people the money instead, if you're not giving the party it, it could be shared. But as Dawn was saying, as a conversation for another time.
Mm.
That's only 150,000 though, divided by 300,000 people. That's only 50 cents each.
50
Those,
cents?
those get done over 7 years. 7 years, it was
Yeah,
looking
over
at for
7 years.
Ah, that's a good point there, Janine.
Fifty
Over
dollars
seven
and fifty
years.
cents each.
Interesting, interesting, interesting. Zico, what are your thoughts on that? Zico, did you spend your $300 one time too?
That disappear in an hour. I mean that I will enjoy getting one every week.
Yeah, you would need one every week. Yeah.
But you think that that's how the average Bajan feels about it. Like what do you pick up on the ground, Zico, of the average Bajan on
Uh,
this?
what I pick up from the average Bajans, once you can feed them and give them entertainment, you have this support. That's Bajans in general. Feed them, give them a walk up, and something to eat, and you got the Bajan support. So it was a very easy and nonsensical idea.
Okay, so it's a nonsensical idea because they spend it one time, went to the bathroom, or if they bought groceries, and that's
I'm
over.
gone.
That's over. Not even a full grocery bill, really, because people are saying it's about $500 a week to go to the grocery. So that is nothing. And Theory, you spent yours in one, right? Did I ask you that already? You spent what? Theory, you
No,
saved your Theory saved his. What did you do with yours, Theory?
I invest in my business.
Wow, you invested yours in your business. Well, Theory, you're not like the others here. You know that you're not paying a rent. Let's stop. Let's be real. Theory, I'm talking about your business. But Terry, you could have. But that's a good suggestion because you could have used it and buy. That even can't even buy a full ticket, like probably half a ticket to go to a show, right?
Maybe,
You
maybe.
don't go to shows.
I think yeah, half a ticket. Yeah. It depends on which seating you want to be in.
Hmm.
Everyone got a chance to speak about it. I will let a chance to speak about it if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
For me, I was glad when it came because I needed to do something for my business and I had to do it. So if it was a situation where it was bill time, it would have been bill money. That's just it. But as the rest said, I wish it was every week to be honest. Um, I heard a long time ago. I don't know if they're still doing it. The last person I heard talking about it was Minister Lane. He was saying that I was looking to doing research about if we have gas mines on the East Coast. So it will let some gas mine to come in Barbados. You know what I mean, we protest and the call before us to give me some money, even the same salvation. Because honestly, all jokes aside, really and truly, a lot of Bajans, we really need help. Yeah, I ain't saying that, well, as adults, you want a handout, but you want to be able to know that, well, as you go through life, your government looking after you, especially the size of this government. And if this might real tough, yeah, that 300 coming, boy, that 300 coming, boy. Right? Yeah, it take 300, use it. I think, but there's a video, I'm gonna find it. There's a young man, he's very impactful as well. He was mentioning, but he applied for a loan, but he didn't get it. I don't know if you saw that,
Hmm.
right? He also said he was the 300. He got stashed with somewhere. So it was kind of funny. But you think about it, like the 300 should be every week. I agree with Zico. It should be every week. But I don't know. I'm not in any government policy field, but I think it should be 300 every week. That's just me.
So yeah, but as we're closing off because I know you can't stay with me the whole night. But before, and those of you who can hang on, because Don has his own business, and I know he's a man, he got to get into bed at a certain time. But some of the people here are saying, what they're saying here. This person said, I work for over 400 a month, have no children. I don't own a car, but I'm building, and some months it's a struggle. I don't know how people are working for less with families survive. And that's the reality. And minimum wage is 1,600 a month. And that is the reality. Judy just said she wants another 300. All right. Somebody said they understand 500 more coming. Where did you get that information from? I would love to know what's the
Yeah,
fact.
two of the commenters were saying that. I just think Mia copied what the president of Guyana did earlier this year, Irfan
Mhm.
Aline, because she used the exact same words that he used in terms of sharing the bounty, quote unquote.
Yes.
But you see, Guyana has a bounty, Marcia. Guyana found $1 trillion worth of oil off of their shore. Barbados hasn't found it, so I don't know what is the bounty, so
Mhm.
to speak. She's borrowing money. She's using our tax dollars to pay back for it, and she just took 40 million out of the NAS to pay us this $300 each. That's not going to be there in the future. Majority of the people who are teenagers or even in their 20s and 30s now here in Barbados are not going to be able to benefit from NAS. I believe NAS is going to go bankrupt. I don't know. As hopefully for as long as now, from a long from now as possible. But I think
Why
it's
is
going to
that?
go
Why
bankrupt
is
within the next
that?
decade
Don,
or
I
so.
got to stop you there. You hoping the NIS get bankrupt long, but you concerned, you're worried.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think that the INS is really sustainable. They've made quite a few bad decisions, bad investments. The average young person now that has their own small business is not paying into the NIS. Like me personally, I've never paid into the NIS in my entire life. I know I'm not nearly the only person in that scenario. So if the young people are being more entrepreneurial and working cash jobs and not contributing to NIS, it's impossible for the NIS to sustain itself. Um, so yeah, that's a major concern as well.
Wow. So you guys have a lot. There's a lot to concern yourselves about. But I
Hmm.
want to ask you all this little controversial question here. I'm going for the juggler. I have found that though you guys are saying that, oh, this is 2025 and you can learn anything you want to learn on YouTube and you can do, I find your generation, to be honest with you, I find that you waste. I'm speaking generally, okay? I find that your generation in particular, the Gen Zs, and probably early millennials, you waste a lot of time. So even though you're saying that you could learn a lot of things and you could accomplish a lot more than what we did, chat GPT and all of that, you're not producing as much as I think that you could produce from chat GPT and from all that is around. Would you say that laziness is a problem with your generation? Yes, go ahead.
To me, it's not a matter of laziness. Just being a one stop perspective. Yeah, I think it's a situation of one. What is your upbringing? Who are the persons around you? Yeah. Who? What is your social group? What is your ambition? Yeah. For me, persons tell me should not have a chip on my shoulder, but I have a chip on my shoulder. I have an affirmative belief that I want to keep on pushing myself to the point whereby I can achieve the level that I believe God has ordained for me. But most individuals feel like this island is, not necessarily against them, but it's really hard to get anything done this island. When you try things and then it fails and it keep on failing and keep on failing, most persons don't have the willpower to keep on keep on going, keep on going. Yeah, and then some persons have social groups that, yeah, they're your friends and they're nice and they're cool, but really they're not conducive for your success. And you really need to like just separate yourself. They have maybe one party and then be around them, but not every day. So and if you find that in our generation, I don't know if Janine or don't agree with me, but you find a lot of conversations be going over. Don't be talking about, oh, Maybe how much is like, for example, I was talking with my friends and we were just discussing the Sagicor trading because they're doing trading, all right. And he's probably one of the few friends I have. We could sit down and discuss about things that are progressive. Like, well, bro, he's like, oh, on this percentage for Sagicor, do. But most friends is
Right.
like, it's be like, let's just be real. It could be frank. It's about romance, partying, jokes, and beer fun. That's my rest of friend group.
So that is your finding, that you talk about girls, you talk about partying, you talk about fun, but there's nothing, Janine, how about you? You find that your generation is lacking. Somebody said here, you guys lack imagination. Is it true? I mean, you have chat GPT, you're bragging about all of these things tonight, but we don't see a lot. You're producing a lot. Are we fair in our assessments?
Well, yes and no. I don't think that person's lack imagination. That's maybe in terms of the direction of where to go, and how to get it done. Otherwise, not on the internet or who could facilitate it in terms of money ways. But I think that young people have a lot of imagination, a lot of things that they want to do or want to accomplish. But it's just how to get it started and stuff like that. I think that a lot of persons don't even know about the YES program that they have. There's some entrepreneurship courses that they can also do. So just about where to find the information on how to get it done here, otherwise than on the internet.
Okay, so okay. And Don, you think you're lazy? You're muted.
Sorry, I'm muted. I got to run after this point though, Marcia.
Yeah.
But I would respond to any people in the older generation calling us lazy. Um, and I would say maybe slightly, but I think that we work slightly smarter, whereas the older generations used to generally be working harder. So like even like for me, sometime like let's see. For example, if a mother walks in, let's say it is any random single mother in Bridgetown, she walks into her 20-year-old son's room and just sees him there on the computer. And while he might be like Theirry hard at work, making websites, building computer code or whatever else, the first thing she may tell herself is the middle of the day, he in his room, he lazy. So that is not because back in the day, obviously to be in your room, you can make money if you're at home. You had to be at a job. You had to be physically outside. But that is simply not the case in Barbados anymore. So I would just challenge some of the more mature people to change their scope for thinking about it. Instead of assuming the young people are lazy, just ask them like, what is it that you're doing? What is your goal? What is your ambition? Because when Theirry tells his parents, oh, I can make 2-3 grand a website, and it only taking me a couple days to build them, they can be like, oh, well, that don't sound lazy at all. That actually sounds quite intelligent. But on first glance, they can tell themselves, well, what Theirry doing in his room all day? He lazy. He just be lying down in bed on the computer. So I can't wholeheartedly agree with that lazy sentiment. It's more so about working smarter, not harder.
Smarter. And my sons, they tell me I'm laughing because I'm guilty of that. We used to
Right,
make up all this
exactly.
noise. We get up 3 o'clock in the morning, and
Yeah.
this boy have the lights on and the computer on, and we are mad. Oh, you could be doing this. Oh, another night again, another night. And realizing the young man was learning from
Learning,
YouTube. But
exactly.
we didn't stop to ask until after time we realized, oh, really? Oh, you start to apologize.
Yeah, exactly.
But
And
God,
even this last thing I would go off, like even the young people nowadays, like streaming, I even feel too old to really understand what be going on in streaming. But some of the richest 20-year-olds in the world right now, I show Speed, Kai Cenat, Aiden Ross, all of those are streamers.
how much
So
money
like
they're making? How much money they're making?
Millions.
millions a month, Marcia, like 50 million a year, more than
Wow.
professional
Streamers. And what they
streamers.
do? Explain. I know
They
you have to
stream
go.
anything, so they could be streaming themselves playing video games. If you were here in Barbados, for example, you could just stream yourself going to the beach, just hanging out, literally doing anything at all. But it's
Wow.
like, like how you go live, like how this show is live here. It's think about if you just had your entire lifestyle on live. Like you'd be like, "Hi, good morning. I'm Marcia Weeks, and for breakfast I'm making eggs and pancakes." You would show them the entire like just, and you're pretty much online the entire day. But there are people making millions of dollars doing that. So even I just said all of this to say, even for the parents complaining about the children playing video games, if you want to be best at a particular video game in the world, you're an automatic millionaire. So you really have to reshape this lazy thought process in your mind. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Well, thank you, Don. Thank you, thank you,
Yes.
thank you for
All
being
right,
here.
guys. We all enjoy the rest of the discussion. It
Yes,
was a pleasure
yes.
to be
Thank you.
here, and hope we can
Thank
do this
you.
again shortly.
Yes, thank you. God
Okay.
bless. Listen, this thing is, you're blowing my mind with the streaming, because my son is who, the youngest one, Theirry, is about your age, and actually your age, and he started telling me about these streamers. Mom, look at these streamers and how much money they're making, and Kai Cenat, and he talked to me about all these people. And I'm like, my goodness, they seem like they're doing nothing, and they're making all this money. But then we're saying that they look as though they're doing nothing. But they're working, and they're doing it at 18 years old. He even showed me some younger than 18. They started with him showing me some young white kids, but no, young black kids are making a lot of money. So, on the internet. So, Theirry, you're saying something about that.
Yeah, Don is right. The biggest streamer in the world right now is Kaisana, and he's a black person. The second biggest is the one he mentioned, Show Speed, and their personality is what gets them. The streamers, they just show time and laugh, and they bring on all the big celebrities that persons would like to have there. For
Mm-hmm.
example, Kevin Hart was on Kaisana stream. You had Drake, you had Aiden Ross, and yeah, he's the biggest streamer in the world. And the thing about it, he nearly got a charge for what's called it public disorder. I think that was in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, so much children and adults went to this stream event, and it was chaos, total chaos, just to see Kaisana, a 5'2" black guy from New York. Like these guys are crazy. They're bigger than the rappers. And the thing about it, at the music industry, is realizing that how big the streamers are, that they're going on to their streams just to, yeah, my album's gonna drop a week for now, because they realize who is in power. And even the athletes now, they're going on the streamers.
Wow. And these are no children. This is no Gen Z. You're talking about
Yes.
Yeah.
16, 17, 18 years old. And you're seeing, because we saw even President Trump was going to some of the streamers in politics. You're muted, Theirry?
Sorry. Yeah, it's true. His son, Baron Trump told him to go on Ian Ross stream and Joe Rogan and those guys. So I was saying that pretty much, it's a big thing. I was saying the athletes, everyone is realizing that these guys are the new thing. They are the biggest thing in the world. So they go on the streams. And trust me, some of the streams don't be really nice. Just be just them talking and talking about life, and people watching it, people like it. So yeah.
Yeah. But Zico, they're saying that some of the streamers also normalize bad behavior. The more outrageous, because I've seen them, the more views that they get, because that's how they make money. So they come up with, what are your thoughts on that?
Yes, they're basically getting paid for their influence. So once you could influence people or you get the attention of people, this is where the money comes into play. People pay for your eyes, people pay for your time and your attention. So depending upon the content, it could be negative and it can be positive. The good thing about it is the top three leading streamers are very positive. So that's a good thing. But the majority, I would say that, is in a positive light.
Yes. And somebody says here, I have a family member who spent hours on a computer doing God knows what. That's how I used to say it. I get real upset. Me and Dave used to get real mad.
But I do agree. But I do agree that this generation is lazy. I do agree that this new generation is lazy.
But look at what she's saying, that they're spending hours on the computer doing God knows what, but it's now able to fund his university cost from it. And it's from crypto or Bitcoin. And it's not from crypto or Bitcoin. I think it's gaming.
It is.
Don't even mention the gaming. Listen, you want to hear noise in our house? Janine, let us wake up and they're playing games. And look, people are making money from gaming. Any thoughts on that, Janine? You're muted, Janine.
I repeat what you said. My thing was sticking. I heard something about gaming.
No, this person, I was saying that we used to hit the roof when we get up and the boys are playing games, right? We get mad about this thing, right? Now here it is that people are making money from they can pay their university fees and all that through gaming. That looked like they were wasting time. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah. I don't really like it. I think that for those who it works for, it can work for. However, I don't want the young people to only think that the on the internet is the way to make money, because at the end of the day, if everything goes to AI and robots come in there, we would be complaining that robots and stuff can't do what the human does. So I think that persons like how this person is going to university, otherwise to do something else, they can do it to if they want to fund something at a young age and be able to develop a business that would be need human persons. But I hope that it doesn't go into a way where only persons are working on the internet alone.
But what about those guys? We just saw if Dave can put them back up without the they're making millions, like 40 something $1 million a year, Janine, and you're telling them to go to university?
No, I'm not saying that they have to go to university. All I'm saying is that at the end of the day, you should also do something that you can that humans could do. Or doing gaming and stuff like that isn't the only way, because at the end of the day, when as I was saying, if when robots and stuff come into play, as persons are making robots to do human work, we would be complaining. So we have to be very strategic of how we are doing it.
Yeah. Somebody, okay, I understand you. Somebody is asking, how are they paid? Lemuel is asking, how do these guys, they go on, and I just realized I can't play too much of their content on here. I hope I don't get in any trouble for it. But how are they paid? You're
They're,
saying something, Zico? Go ahead.
yes, they're paid through streaming platforms. So you got streaming platforms such as Kit. You also got what's the other one? What's the other one? But they're paying through on subscribers as well. So what basically you subscribe on. So you get dollars, you get through subscription, and then you also get deals. You also get deals from streaming platforms like Twitch, Kick, and other streaming platforms along as well. Then you also get from ads, and then you also get from influencers. So if you're wearing a branded t-shirt, marketing different stuff, sipping from a particular cup. Also bringing on certain people being paid to do interviews or to do reviews of music, to do reviews of games. So, for instance, if you had a game that you wanted to launch, you would go and get one of these same influencers or one of these same streamers to basically play the game online. That way, it would influence the younger generation as well to go and get the game. So they're paid through branding, streaming services, and subscriptions.
Wow, interesting. It's a new world out there, and we have to be willing to, to be open to it. I think as adults, we need to be open to it and understand, what is happening. Michelle is saying that the kids are watching chaos. Children cannot be normal, constantly watching this stuff. But this is what they're making the millions from, Michelle. Um, you know, um, Perlita is saying sitting in front of a computer for long periods of time is not healthy. Well, but they're making 40 million a year. And they have you sitting there and they have you watching it. Right? Right? You're watching it. This is something that it's so much has changed. And it's the younger generation that's making the most money from the streaming. Right, Theory? The younger generation. Yeah. Let me ask you, I know that you have to leave, Janine, but I wanted to ask this question. If you met the PM, right? If you had an opportunity to meet the Prime Minister of Barbados, Janine is meeting the Prime Minister of Barbados. Janine, what would you say? Would you make a statement or ask for a question, and what would it be?
Guys, hello. Right. So that is a really good question. I think you all give me a little minute to think about that.
Mhm.
Because I am. There's a lot of things that I totally would like to say, but
Mhm.
it are. I think a statement might be better. I need to sure I say that. So give me maybe ask the others and then I'll get back to me.
Get back to you. And it's a question that I want to pose to the people in the comment section. If you had an opportunity to meet the PM, right? To meet PM Motley, mhm, what would you say to PM Motley if you had an opportunity? It's just 2025, and you hear you're gonna meet PM Motley. What would you say to PM Motley? Everybody think about that, and let me read a little Adrian Hines is saying here how to monetize YouTube. Um, right? Okay. So that's it in theory. And we, a lot of us who are on here, we understand that, but you can't monetize on Barbados. That's the reality. As much as we are saying that we are first world, a lot of our young people are not going to be able to make those millions that others are making in Nigeria. There are Nigerians making millions, people in Africa making millions US dollars. They're making, Barbadians can't make it. Our young people are at a disadvantage. They cannot make that money because we're not allowed to monetize. So that is all, that's the reality, right? While you think about that question, so the question is, what if you met the PM of Barbados? If you met the PM, what would you say to her? I should put say, yeah, what would you say to her? Right? All right. So we ready, Janine, or go to the others?
Yeah, I think I'm ready.
Yes, go right ahead.
Yeah, so I will just make a few statements in terms of if given the opportunity to ask for like more food security and agro innovation. I will
Mm-hmm.
also ask for youth empowerment and more creative industries because although we are say we have the division of youth and stuff like that, a lot of things are not coming out of there. I can remember the days when we would have had things like dance fest and stuff like that. We would have had also summer camps was also a big thing. Is summer camp is being promoted, yes, but it's not an actual thing that children actually really want to go to. And that is the reality. Back then,
Mm-hmm.
you would have had the ministry would have linked up with programs. Even the same dancers would have come into play at the time. You would have had cheer dance. You would have had sports persons were able to create things at camp that they wouldn't been able to do at home. So for sure, youth empowerment and creative industries there bring back some of this stuff. I don't think that once the government gets into place, that it just have to remove things that are working, use what was already working, and improve on it. For more housing, transportation, and climate resilience, I know climate change is a big topic for the prime minister at this time, but how big is it for Barbados? That would be a question that I will have for her. In terms of transportation, I see that we are going into a place where the buses don't get in the top service. I think that we are moving, putting the cart before the horse, where we don't even have enough buses. So the way that money can't be used to even renovate buses right now and then have that a little later. So that's not something that we currently need right now. Housing is a big issue as well. In terms of good governance, for sure will be my last thing for now. I think that we are really lacking good governance. We are not focusing on what we need to focus on. It's just something here, there, everywhere. So those are a few things that I would like to mention
Wow.
to her.
That sounds like it will be a long conversation, Janine. That's a mouthful. Food security, agro innovation, activities for the youth, housing, transportation. You have a mouthful for the prime minister. If you should meet the prime minister. How about Theirry? Seriously. And while you're thinking about it, let's read some of the comments online that they have. Somebody says, I would not have much to say to her. However, I would like land to be affordable. You would have much to say, but they want land. So that's what you would say to the PM that you would want thing. John Clark said they would just say, Mia, you should resign. Okay. Why should she resign? She's gonna say, John, why should I resign? Right? What? Why should she resign? Huh? My follow-up. Oh, well, Pedro, I didn't get your first question. What Pedro? Pedro said he would ask her why she always talking about climate change, and if she really believe the climate is changed. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, so let me go to Theirry. Theirry, what would you ask the Prime Minister? If you met the PM, what would you ask the PM? Or say to the PM? It could be a statement.
I would say to the PM, the future of this country is in technology.
Mhm.
Yes, we have the tourism sector and we have the tourism economy,